I'm Makaila.
And I'm Nick.
And this is a completely legitimate movie podcast.
Ho, ho, ho. Come in and know me better, man. Merry Christmas from us over at Completely Legitimate Movie Podcast. This
Yes,
is a completely legitimate Christmas special.
holiday special. We're not trying to exclude anybody.
Right. Merry Festivus, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, or, it's December 25th.
Right,
when you're watching.
whatever you're doing, enjoy.
Yeah. We are decked out in our holiday garb. Obviously, I got my Macho Man Randy Savage ugly holiday sweater.
And I am rocking my favorite, pajama. I don't know what I call this. Jumper, I guess. It's just crazy. I don't know. I like it. It's got a big old cat on the front.
Someone made an ugly sweater into like overalls.
Yeah, which is, that's my jam. So
It's great. So for our poll, A Christmas Story 1, that is what we're reviewing, recapping today.
Christmas Story 1.
Yeah, A Christmas Story won the poll. Yeah. What's wrong with me saying
There's
that?
a sequel. You said A Christmas Story 1, which made it sound like you were trying to say A Christmas Story 1, the first one.
Well, we are doing the first one. We're not doing the sequel.
I know, I'm just saying it sounded strange.
Okay, well, before we go right into the research in the movie itself, we wanted to, make this a festive special. Real quick, we're gonna, just say what our favorite Christmas movies and things like that are. So, you want to go first?
I can,
Sure.
sure. So I love all of these, any movie that's like a Christmas movie. I love. So, I feel like this list was hard for me to really narrow it down. First, I will say honorable mentions not on the list. Four Christmases, because I fucking love that movie. I think I put it on at least once a year.
You do.
At least. But also not a Christmas movie, but still one that I love, Eight Crazy Nights. Cannot get through this month without watching that because of Whitey, basically. I quote that movie.
Yes, technical
Yeah.
foul. Yeah.
Technical foul. Okay, but anyway, two of my favorite Christmas movies. First is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I live for that movie. Spirited, which I know you hate, but
Yeah, not a fan.
it was so good. I saw it
That's
in
a recent one,
theaters,
too.
and I think I made us all watch it. Violent Night.
That's a good one.
Yeah, very good. This movie, obviously. Yeah, that's kind of like my top ones for Christmas.
Okay. And we should note, since Thanksgiving ended, we've watched all of these movies.
But yeah.
They've been on Four Christmases, Christmas Vacation, Spirited, Violent Night. We've gone through them. And my favorite Christmas movie, anyone who knows me, is Muppet Christmas Carol. It reigns supreme. It's the only adaptation of A Christmas Carol that matters. All others are pointless and derivative and fail to live up to the standard. And I'm sorry, I know you love Spirited, but it's true. Nothing.
Spirited is not a Christmas Carol. It does not count.
Okay,
I at least do not count it. I separate it.
sure. Nightmare Before Christmas, just banger soundtrack. I think as soon as Halloween's over, I will watch that movie because it's set right after Halloween and goes into Christmas. It just really sets the tone for the season for me.
Yeah.
And Elf, I'm a big fan of Elf, and it's a really fun story about a Christmas story. Is growing up, I hated this movie because my mom was obsessed with it. I think it's either TNT or TBS. Like on Christmas Eve, they play this movie for 24 hours
Yeah.
consecutively, or maybe they used to. I don't know if they still do, but my mom would just have it on for 24 hours. And I think because I was a kid, it was like, oh, my mom's always watching this movie. I just didn't like it until I got to high school and a teacher made us watch it. And I kind of actually paid attention for the first time. I was like, actually, this is a pretty good movie.
What a fucking teenager. You didn't watch it because your mom wanted to watch it, but your teacher was like, hey, here's this movie you've had on your whole life. And you were like, what?
I didn't like that teacher either, like, I hated that fucking teacher.
And it's funny too, because I have always loved this movie. Like, this was part of my Christmas tradition growing up, is me, my cousin, and my stepbrother would always go, well, not just the 3 of us, but the whole family would go to my Aunt Steph's house, and we would go to the basement and we would watch this movie, and then we would all go to church, and that was like, obviously, we did other things for Christmas too, but that was always, like, a standard sequence of events. We always had this movie on every single year,
So did my mom.
and maybe we were watching it the same way.
Probably. What was the best Christmas gift you ever received?
So, I would love to say it was when I got my, like, Wii, like, the original, the OG, not
Yeah, the
anything that, like,
Nintendo
came after
Wii.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
but my parents got me and my stepsister that as a joint gift,
Sure.
and you would have thought, if it was a joint gift, that if I moved out, there would have been a discussion of who that we was going with. No, no, they kept it, and then it went to my brother, who had no stake in the game, but whatever. So I will say, being salty, my favorite Christmas gift ever was the Doctor Who novels that I received because my parents genuinely had no clue what the fuck Doctor Who was. So they had to go on this, like, wild goose chase to try and find these books because they didn't know what they were looking for, and then they thought they got the wrong thing because they were written with, like, British grammar. So they were like, "None of this makes sense, like, is this what she wants?" I was so fucking happy when I got these.
Nice. I would say you can still count the Wii. I don't know. That's bullshit. It was given. There's a golden child in your family,
It's
and
not
it's
me.
not you. And you, like,
It's fine. I wish if it had been a joint gift, it would have been a family gift, not just for, like, my sister and I, because
yeah,
then that gets tricky, right? Because then you're gonna fight over it. It's like, "No, this is a family gift, so it's going to stay in the family." It being part of my Christmas gift from Santa, mind you, really, like, just irked me. Like, Santa wouldn't like this. Santa would not like what you're doing.
understandable. My favorite in that same realm. My favorite Christmas gift. I think it was like 9, 10, 11, something in there. Was when I got the N64 when that came out. I was basically that kid from the internet video who gets it and freaks out. And I got Mario 64 and Banjo Kazooie with it. And God, I sunk so many hours into those games. Those were great games.
Were those your favorite games? Like, what was your favorite N game? Off topic, but I'm just curious.
No, my favorite N64 game was Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Mm.
That one was that I think that may be my favorite Zelda game of all time, and people have, like, mixed opinions on it. Either some people think it's the greatest or some people are like, "There's a time limit," and those people are wrong. And let's move on. This is really off topic. Oh, well, what's, like, your favorite
You're not
seasonal
gonna ask
holiday.
what my favorite N64 game is? Rude. I'm just
Oh, okay,
kidding.
that's
No,
what
you're
no,
totally
you
fine. We
no,
don't have
no,
to talk
no,
about
no,
it.
no,
Let's talk about it. You don't care. It's fine. You don't care.
what's your favorite N64 game, dear?
I don't have one. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, that's a good one.
Mainly because it was hilarious, but also because it was inappropriate and I was not allowed to play it on our N64, so I would go to a friend's. We went camping as, like, when I was growing up, so I would always go over to their camper,
And
and
play it.
because they were an inside child, so they were always playing video games when we went camping. So I would just go over there, and we would spend, like, hours playing Conker's Bad Fur Day and, like, listening to Avenue Q, and it was just, like, the best.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. All right. Well, before
Sorry.
you're fine. Before we get to the movie, let's wrap up the holiday discussion. What's your favorite seasonal Christmassy Decembery snack?
I would say anything peppermint. Like, you're a pumpkin spice. I don't wanna call you a pumpkin spice girly, but you really, like, you get into that pumpkin spice, like,
I
you
do.
love it,
I really do.
and I feel that way about peppermint stuff. Like, when Scooters had that, and they may still have it, I don't know, I've been trying to avoid them because of all their holiday treats, but that cinnamon roll with, like, the peppermint, like, crushed peppermint sprinkled on top,
Yeah, that's good.
so good. My gosh. So that's just me, and then hot chocolate, which I am not an alcoholic. Anybody who knows me knows, like, I almost never drink. It's actually in my medical chart that I never drink. However, over the holidays, with hot chocolate, I do like to add whiskey to it. So
Sure.
either Old Smoky or Fireball, but just that it's like the perfect touch, and I'm not, pouring it in there. It's just like
Yeah.
a little bit because it's flavored and it just adds a little something to it. So,
Some
liquor and
people
peppermint.
some people have a glass of wine at night. You put a little whiskey in your hot cocoa a few times at
Yes.
the end of the year. It's
Yes.
fine. My favorite Christmas treat is probably both like hot cocoa, and I like it with like the peppermint on top, or like you can get a peppermint mocha. I think from
Yes.
Scooters right now, it's really good. But I on Christmas Eve, or like maybe I think maybe the day before Christmas Eve, you make a bouche de Noël, which is like a giant chocolate log cake, and it's great. I look forward to it every year right up there with the ham.
Uh, that feels so good because that thing is kinda I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to make.
Why you only
So,
make it once a year.
the fact that, like, you like it, that makes it feel, appreciated, so I
Oh, hell
like
yeah.
that. Thank you.
Problem. Alright. Well, everyone's like, "Oh, they're so cringe," and clicking off right now.
Yeah, all you guys know what you got into. I'll just leave it at that. You know.
Alright, let's dive into this movie, A Christmas Story. This is based in the 1940s. It's a holiday movie about a little kid trying to get his dream present despite everyone in the world telling him that's a horrible idea. His Red Ryder Ranger 200 all the bells and whistles shot BB gun air rifle. Like it has such a long name, and I feel like it's different every time he says it.
Well, he really has to depending on who he's talking to, I think he really has to ensure that they know exactly what he means.
With the right make and
Yeah.
model. This came out November 18th, 1983. So it came out in the 80s based in the 40s, which would be the equivalent of today, a 2020s movie coming out and being about a 1980s Christmas, which to be fair, I think like 8-bit Christmas is that
Think so,
essentially.
yeah, and that's, like, actually a good one. Honorable mention.
It's okay.
I like it.
Like
Honorable
it's
mention.
it's good. It's better than Spirited. Anyway, so this was directed by Bob Clark. The cast consists of Peter Billingsley as Ralphie, and he doesn't have a lot of acting credits well known outside of this movie. He does he shows up as the head elf in the movie Elf as like a small role. And that's kind of what he did. I think he moved away from acting after this, maybe just doing a few small things. He has a lot of producing credits. He was an executive producer for The Breakup, Iron Man, Four Christmases, just to name a few. And of course, he comes back in A Christmas Story Christmas, the distant sequel that came out a few years ago, where it kind of continues the story with him as an adult, which I liked. It's not as good as this movie, but I think as sequels go, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with it.
Yeah, Melinda Dillon stars as his mother. She was in movies such as Magnolia and Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Darren McGavin stars as Old Man Parker, his dad. He starred in movies such as Raw Deal, and he played Billy Madison's dad in in Billy Madison, which I did not recognize.
He doesn't look, like, entirely different, but he does look a little different.
Yeah, Jean Shepherd voices adult Ralphie, who is the narrator, and the story is based on a collection of stories from his book, In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash.
Is it John or Jean? Because I was reading it as Jean.
I always pronounce it as Jean.
Fancy.
It's all that French Duolingo I did for a while, and then I quit. John Cena would be so disappointed in me. Honorable mention to John Cena's career. He retired. Anyway, we won't get into that. This isn't a
But
wrestling
you may
podcast.
hear about him on this podcast because I'm a big fan of his work as an actor.
That's true.
Like, John Cena, I think I will not shit talk Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but I think as far as transitioning into an acting role has gone, it may be a little better for John Cena. They are both great in their own way, but I personally prefer John Cena.
Dave Batista, too.
Yes. Oh my
He's
gosh.
great.
Yes.
Anyway, this isn't a wrestling podcast.
Yet. No, I'm
Award
just kidding.
completely legitimate wrestling podcast coming soon.
No.
Anyway, This movie was nominated for a few awards, but the most notable thing about it is it was placed on the National Film Registry in 2012, which indicates that a movie is important to American culture. And according to the Library of Congress, a reflection of who we are as a people and a nation, which is just I don't know. I think it's just really cool official recognition of this movie being considered like such a classic and that it has cultural impact.
Right, it's just it's a movie that they decided they don't want it to be forgotten because, I mean, I try to buy hard copies of movies when I can, especially if I really like them, but with streaming, like, you just never know what's going to happen to certain films. So I think that's kinda cool. I
It
like it.
is. So let's jump into the movie. And speaking of streaming, we to watch this, we streamed it off one of the services. I won't say who because they don't sponsor us. And we get
Stop.
and some guy from a crime show gives us a 2-minute introduction about this
You
movie.
wouldn't understand. You had to be there. You never watched movies growing up and they always were like, "Fuck it, didn't Walt Disney come out on certain movies?" Like, if it's a certain historical or there's a story to it, especially for holiday movies, there's always that dude who gives you, like, that little blurb.
And this guy had nothing to do with it. He said he was on a fucking crime show and he did the research. Essentially, who the fuck is this guy? So
"Who the
anyway,
fuck
it's
are
it
we?" No, I'm just kidding, I don't know.
fair. If you're watching this on HBO Max, you can skip the first 2 minutes. Just some old guy talking about the movie. You listen to us for the research.
My gosh.
The movie proper opens to Cleveland Street, which is like in the Illinois suburbs. I think it takes place in Illinois, right? Because his dad's always talking about the Chicago Bears.
That's a great question because for whatever reason and you're probably right, I always thought Indiana. And you're probably right. Now I feel like I need to
It's mi-
give it a Google.
it's in the Midwest. It is Midwestern, and his dad likes the Bears. Well, he seems to bitch about them all the time. We hear adult Ralphie narrating his childhood about how Christmas is coming, how the whole kid year revolves around this time of year. And we cut to like a downtown area where I guess families just come to surround a store called Higbee's because they've put up their Christmas display in the window. And
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay, thank you. Okay, you were
Sorry.
right. Homan, Indiana, because he says the town is Homan. So Homan, Indiana. And watching it today, I don't think kids understand. They didn't even have TV. So, like, a department store putting up a window was something people actually left their houses to go do. It was something to do.
Yeah, because you wanted to see what the items looked like and all of that. Like it was well, and people still window shop. I feel like that's what most kids do now if they find themselves in a mall for some reason. I feel like malls
Yeah,
are a
but they
dying
don't go to mall.
outlet, but like yeah, it's like you window shop.
Yeah, and you see kids, they've got their nose pressed to the glass looking at all the Christmas items, and this is probably how they make their Christmas list. And I can't imagine kids doing that today because, like, Amazon and Target and all the other big stores send out magazines, or they just go on the app or website and build a list that way.
Growing up, I always looked forward to that Toys R Us catalog, the, like,
Hell
big
yeah.
fucking one that came. That was, like, always the most exciting thing.
Yeah, so we see the Christmas display, and all the old toys look so cool. The train sets and the mechanical tanks, and Ralphie doesn't give a shit because he wants the Red Ryder 200 shot range model air rifle that's in the back with like a cardboard cutout of Red Ryder or the Lone Ranger, whoever the fuck it is.
Well, yeah, the Lone Ranger.
And he's we kind of get the plot of the movie get handed to us here, how he needs to set up how he gets his parents to buy it for him. I can't imagine buying a child, and I'm sure the pellets back then were even harder, but like, did you ever play airsoft in high school, like play with an airsoft gun?
No, but when I was, like, 8, I don't know the context. It's really, like it's foggy because it was right around the time that I was, like, watching The Ring, so, my memory is just traumatized.
Block those
But,
one out.
for whatever reason, we had a blow dart,
Hmm.
and we would just shoot that thing at, like, my dad's Natty Light boxes. So, we never had a BB gun, but we had a fucking blow dart, which seems even, like,
That's so weird.
if not as dangerous, more dangerous.
I had a friend in high school who had a bunch of airsoft guns and invited some people out. Those things can fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Y you tell me, like, "Hey, wear a hoodie and jeans because these can hurt." So I can't imagine, especially our kids, it's like they would be terrorizing each other, there'd be little holes in the
We
wall.
can't even trust them with Nerf guns.
No, because 'cause they'll put them right up to someone's head, and then someone's crying.
Yeah, they're, yeah, no, this I cannot imagine. The '40s was a truly a different fucking time. I c
Yeah.
but
So
maybe
it's
not though, because mom's not exactly on board.
right, as we find out.
Yes.
So the next morning, mom is screaming for Ralph and Randy. Randy is Ralph's little brother to get up. They're going to be late for school. And I just love the like how as certain things are different, certain things are the same because Ralph gets to the dresser first and is pulling out his clothes. The whole time his younger brother's just smacking at him like, I want to go first.
Like, you're so lucky that you never had to share a room with your siblings.
I know.
It
Because
wasn't
it just
all
seems so
bad, but
real.
there were always times where, like, you wanted to kill that person. Like,
Yeah.
they were the bane of your existence. So, I always enjoy watching this part because I'm just, like, too real.
Right. Ralph is part of his Ralphie, as he's often called, is step 1 in his plan to get his parents to buy him the BB gun, puts an ad for it, like, tucks it into his mom's magazine. He's like, "Eh, she'll see this."
Yeah, but, like, she's like a fashion magazine, like, that yeah, this is totally a natural part of this magazine.
Perfect advertising. He goes downstairs. Dad is already at the table complaining about baseball, and mom is so dismissive. She's like, "That's nice, dear." She's like, "All that silly stuff they put in the newspaper." I was like, "This is real new." Like she she's so used to his shit.
Yeah,
It's great.
they're clearly an old married couple.
Yeah. Dad's trying to figure out the crossword puzzle. She knows the answer immediately.
Yeah.
It's great. So Ralphie is trying to figure out how to subtly tell his parents he wants this gun, and he tells them that there was a bear spotted by the candy store.
Yeah, not even, like, casually. They're, like, talking about something completely unrelated, and he's like, "There was a bear scene." It's like, smooth.
Right. They both look at him like he's nuts too. Like, yeah, all right. Mom asked directly, "Well, what do you want for Christmas?" And his whole subtlety plan goes out the window because he just blurts out that he wants the BB gun. And we get the first of the iconic line in the movie where mom says, "No, you'll shoot your eye out," which is might as well be the tagline for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because BB guns are dangerous, like, "No, you're not getting one of those. What else do you want?"
Yeah. So he tries to play it cool and is like, "Well, Flick's getting one, but I guess Tinker Toys are fine." And he just chastises himself internally because that was so lame.
Yeah, and then, we see his little brother Randy, and the mom's like, "Come on, you gotta eat, there's starving people in China." Like, I just was like, "When did it switch to Africa?" Like, were
I don't
you
know.
because I was always told you have to eat because there's starving children in Africa. But, like,
Starving children in America.
yeah, there are, but we don't talk about that.
No, of course not. Ralph has his first daydream of the movie, and he does this periodically, and I love it because it's very childlike,
Yes.
where he just visualizes him using this BB gun to run off or kill 8 bandits while his parents hide under the table in pioneer clothing.
Yes, with their little southern drawls.
Yeah. And we get the line, "Cheese it, boys, the jig is up," which might have been where that line comes from. I don't know. And maybe it came from something else. One of the bandits gets shot in the ass, which is great.
Yep, and then, we get all the burglars are fleeing, he saved the family, and he's like, "Adios, Bart."
Yep. As he comes out of his daydream, we learn a little bit more about dad being an Oldsmobile man, which Ralph compares to a religion, but he's bitching because it froze up. He's got to pour some hot water on it, I guess. And to make matters worse, their furnace hacks up.
Yeah, their furnace is on the fritz.
Yeah. Dad storms downstairs. We hear like dad gum and all this shit, but Ralph's narration tells us no, dad just swears up a storm all the time and
Yeah.
he's really good at it.
Yep, he's asking, who turned it was turn something down, turn something off. Based on mom's expression, it was her.
Yeah,
She did it.
mom keeps fucking up the furnace. Oops, we get the iconic scene of mom putting Randy in this stupidly big coat where he can't put his arms down. And it's so weird because, like, Ralph wears a normal winter coat and hat and is fine. Why does Randy have 8 layers?
I you
Is he just
know,
the baby?
I think that's part of it because Ralphie's 9,
Yeah,
so you figure Randy has to be, like,
6 or
6?
7?
Yeah, 6, 7.
God. Anyway,
So, it's probably that sort of thing where, like, he's gonna be rolling around in the snow more at recess, so mom just wants to make sure but you know for a fact the fucking teacher ain't dealing with that shit.
mm-mm.
You can send him to school like that, I
He,
am not
yeah, he ain't
doing this
coming
for
home like that.
recess, like, you
No.
mm-mm.
Ralph meets up with his friends Flick and Schwartz, and they cuss up a storm, which I've
His friends, Flick and Schwartz.
there's gotta be
It
like
sounded like
last
you
names or
said
nicknames.
Flick and Schwartz.
Flick and Schwartz. Yeah, at school, the whole class puts in fake teeth to prank Miss Shields,
Yeah,
who does not get paid enough. No teacher gets paid enough. Miss Shields doesn't get paid enough because she starts writing on the blackboard. She hears them all say good morning with the
yeah.
weird voices, makes them all turn in the fake teeth, and she just has a drawer full of prank
Yeah,
shit.
just, like, stuff she's had to confiscate because 'cause they're being little shits.
Yeah, like outside, we see another. So many of these scenes are iconic. We get the pole licking scene where Flick and Schwartz are exchanging dares,
Well, yeah, because Flick doesn't believe that his tongue will stick.
freeze to the pole.
Yeah, and Schwartz says, "Your old man's full of shit," because that's where he heard it from was his dad,
Yeah,
like, "It's gonna stick." So, he dares him, like, he dog dares him, and then he skips right over all the other, like, politeness and goes straight for the triple dog dare, which is, like, now Flick has to do it.
right. And Ralphie's adult narration says, "Oh, breach of etiquette," but went right for the kill.
Yeah, because
So
there's a process for these things, and that existed too, like, in the '90s.
yeah, and I could see Ethan licking a pole because a friend told him to.
He
But this would
would
be
he
one of
would
our
do it
kids.
without a dare.
Yeah, okay, this would be one of our
He
kids.
he'd be like, "Whatever." Maybe not after seeing this movie, but
Hopefully, it's a
poor
cautionary tale.
poor Flick is now stuck to the pole,
He licks the pole, and yeah, he's flailing his arms.
and
He's stuck.
I am so Ralphie in this scene because Schwartz is like, "Oh my god, what do we do?" And Ralphie's like, "I don't know, the bell rang."
They just go inside.
I would not do what he does next with, like, just ignoring the teacher, like, "Hey, where's Flick? Has anyone seen him?" And Ralphie's like, "Who the fuck is Flick?" But, like,
Right.
I the bell rang, "We have to get to class, I can't be late. What do we do?" "I don't know, the bell rang." That's me.
It's so good. So the teacher notices I'm missing a kid. A little girl points out the window, and Miss Shields appropriately freaks out, like, "Oh my god, he's frozen at this pole." The cops come, the fire department comes. All of the kids except Ralphie and Schwartz are at the window watching this all unfold. They're of course like, "Oh god, we're in so much trouble." But Flick, to I guess his credit, isn't a snitch. He doesn't rat out Schwartz and Ralphie, so Miss Shields kind of gives this this speech about how like I hope the guilt's eating you up inside.
And she's
But
looking at them, like, she's
she knows
looking
it's
at
them, but
Schwartz
she
and
just
Ralphie.
can't prove it to punish them.
Right.
And, the kid like, it's like, God, kids are such assholes even 100 years later. 'Cause
Yeah.
they just are like, no accountability.
Well,
This
yeah, she's
isn't an
like
anti-kid podcast, but whatever.
no, that's the one that you do later. But no, she's just, like, looking at them, and she's like, "I hope that you're ashamed." And Ralphie is, like, just looking around at the other students like, "Don't you feel sorry?" Like, he's looking at everybody but, like, himself.
Yeah. Uh, but so I think maybe to punish the entire class instead, she makes them write a theme.
Yeah.
She's like, "I'll just get all of you." But the theme's what I want for Christmas. So Ralph's like, oh, this is perfect. I can use this theme, get a good grade, and then my mom will have to buy me the BB gun
Yeah.
because she'll be so impressed.
Yeah.
The way home from school, we are introduced to, and this is a name, Scut Farkus, not Scott, Scut. I don't, why would you name a child that?
I
I know
mean,
it's
it's
the
probably
40s, but
not his real name. That's probably just, like, the name in the story, like, "Oh, these people were changed."
yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, no, they give the bully the name Scut.
And he looks like he's maybe a grade or 2 higher, he's got braces. According to adult Ralphie, he had yellow eyes. He's
Yeah.
introduced just immediately shoving Randy to the ground, and Randy can't get up because he's in the
Again.
big puffer coat. Yeah, Ralph and his friends run, and they get jump scared by Scott's Toady Grover Dill, which is, a more normal name, I guess.
Is it not Rover?
Grover.
You sure it's not Rover?
No, it's Grover from the subtitles. They like the Muppet,
That's
Grover.
wild. I thought it was Rover.
Nah, that's Grover. Anyway, they get jump scared by Grover and they run away, but not before Scott grabs Schwartz's arm and twists it until Schwartz screams uncle, which I guess is kind of karma for the light pole thing, I guess. Teacher couldn't get him, but Scott sure did. The children run away, and we see at home Ralph checking the mail. He sent in for a little Orphan Annie decoder pin, but it's not there yet. This is far before 2-day shipping. This was 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, even still, there's things you have to wait for. Not everything's through Amazon.
Yeah, no, I know, but, like, 6 to 8 weeks, you'd forget about it by the time it got there. So, instead, Ralph goes to his room, and he's gonna write his theme.
Yeah, and he's super impressed with himself when he finishes it. He's like, "Oh my god, this is gonna win me an award. I'm gonna get a Mark Twain award for this."
He is, and he reads it back to us, and it's just such blunt little kid writing, like, "I want this. I think it's a good present. Footballs are not good Christmas presents."
I wrote you an email like that.
You did.
I did, using this movie as reference.
As he finishes up, we see Old Man Parker get home. And we're given this very important fact for later that when dad gets home, they have hillbilly neighbors and they just have a swarm of dogs,
Like a coonhound.
hounds. They're called the Bumpus Hounds. They love the dad and they just run up to him every day. And dad fucking hates. But dad doesn't care tonight because he got a telegram at work that he won something.
Yeah, a major prize
It's coming tonight.
coming tonight.
Yeah. So as they eat dinner, Randy again refuses to eat. He's instead turned his meatloaf and mashed potatoes into like a monument.
Well, yeah, because when you don't wanna eat the dinner, you just try to move it around to different places so that it looks like you ate it.
Yeah, the Anastasia method. Our daughter does this. And she's like, "Is this good?" It's like, "You didn't eat anything. We're not dumb."
But, yeah, we're not gonna sit there and force her to eat it either, so it's like, "Can you try and take a few bites? Alright, I guess that's good."
Yeah. And poor mom, and the narration tells us mom hasn't had a hot meal in years because every time she goes to take a bite, dad or Ralphie asks for seconds.
Well, and can I say too, this movie actually, like, watching this growing up, I was like, "I am not going to be this kind of mom." Granted, I didn't wanna be a mom until I was, like, older,
Sure.
but, like, I was definitively like, "I will not be this mom." Like, the kids, I will help them up to a certain age, I will get them food. If they want food after that, they can get it themselves. Certainly, I'm not going to get my husband seconds. I am going to eat my fucking dinner.
I can't imagine if you hadn't eaten yet and then I'd all somehow already scarfed my food down and asked you to get me more. You look at me
The
like I grew
look
another
yeah,
head.
the look that I would give you is
And understandably so.
yes, but anyway,
Like, if people are like, "Oh, the good old days," like,
yeah,
it sucked if you were a mom, apparently.
yeah.
The plight of the '40s mother. So after she gets her husband, who is a grown ass man, and Ralphie, who can probably spoon some fucking potatoes onto his plate, more food, she tries to trick Randy into eating. And to be fair, it
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 works.
succeeds. But Randy says, and I have to point this out, meatloaf, meatloaf, double beatloaf. I hate meatloaf. And I just need to point out this was me verbatim to my mom because I hated meatloaf. I still refuse to eat it because I don't think meatloaf is a good food. Um,
You just haven't had my
yeah,
meatloaf.
that's what everyone fucking says. There was one time because my parents would always be like, "It's just hamburger." No, it's not. You prepare it differently, you season it differently, and it does not taste like hamburger. And if you think meatloaf and hamburger taste the same, you're not having good hamburger. Something's wrong.
I'll say that that's true, although I fucking love meatloaf.
One time, my mom tried to trick me by saying she set some meat aside, made it like a hamburger, but she cut it up and put cheese on it, and I immediately took one bite and spit it out. And if she's listening, she'd be like, "Oh god, he's telling the story." But mom's method of tricking
Okay, this is my thing too, though. Like, you didn't just drown it in ketchup?
no,
I did.
I
Like, I fucking that was just fucking red. I covered it in ketchup, and it was so good, but it probably had to do like 60% ketchup
so mom tricks Randy, is like, "Show me how the piggies eat." And Ralph eats with his face,
because that's
right?
how a piggy would eat.
Yeah, like he shoves the plate to his face, puts his face down, and I don't know if he actually ate
Yeah,
that way. He at
he
least got
did.
something in his mouth.
Yeah, he that was his 2 bites.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and mom's laughing. She thinks this is the cutest thing, and Randy and dad think it's
Ralphie.
but yeah, Ralphie and dad kinda look at each other like, "Oh, it's fucking gross."
But I used to have these, like, drinking glasses that had various scenes from this movie, and this was one of them, and it was, like, my favorite cup. It was just, like, him
It's
covered in meatloaf.
a knock on the door shifts the tension in the room because everyone gets real quiet,
Yeah.
and dad's like, "It's here."
This is suddenly the poltergeist.
Yeah. Dad opens the door. There's a huge crate, like coffin-sized box on a dolly. And he asks the delivery guy, "What is it?" And the guy shrugs. And dad then asks, "Well, what's in it?" He just said he doesn't know. And that's kind of the look the delivery man gives him. Like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
They wheel it in. Dad misreads the word fragile as fragile and
Yeah,
thinks it's French.
that's a that no, he said Italian.
Yes, Italian, thank you.
French, literally, he says Francile, must be Italian.
You're right.
Anyway, Nick was not paying attention during that part,
Must
clearly.
have been typing. Mom, ever the poor mother, of course, like, "It says fragile."
He gets it open, he's digging through it, and he's so fucking happy. He pulls it out, it's a leg. You would have thought this was, like, the best thing in the world. He's like, "Oh my god, I want a leg." And he starts digging through the box again, and while he's doing that, Ralphie, like, rubs his hand up the leg. He's like,
Yeah.
"Wow."
Well, and again, this is the '40s. This is before even television.
Yeah.
And certainly before the internet and like all the stuff people put on like Instagram reels and shit. This for the '40s, this is damn near pornographic content.
Yeah.
This lamp.
So he pulls out the rest of it, and it's a shade, so he's like, "Oh my gosh, it's a lamp." So Dad did all of this stuff thinking he was gonna get a bowling alley, he was gonna get
Mhm.
whatever you could think of, like your heart's desire, and he gets a sexy leg lamp.
Damn.
And
And mom is so like you
yeah.
would think dad came home with a second wife.
Yeah, she's, like, mortified, and Dad is not, like, getting any of this. He's like, "You know where this would look great? Right in the middle of our front room window."
Yup, he puts it right where the whole street can see it
Yeah.
and goes outside to kinda, like, get her to move it to
Yeah.
just the right position, and as
He's
they're doing
shouting.
as they're doing it, a crowd gathers on the street because, again, this is the '40s. This is probably the most explicit content they've ever seen in public.
Well, and everyone's a nosy neighbor to a certain extent.
Yeah.
He's out there yelling on the lawn. They're like, "What the fuck is he doing?"
Well, cars pull over.
Yeah.
People then he was like, "Damn hell, that's a major award. You won it." He sounds like Mater.
He's, like, telling everybody who comes by that it's a major award.
Yeah.
And Mom's like, "Alright, I've had it with this." So she's like, "Come on, kids, let's listen to Little Orphan Annie."
Right. Well, because both Randy and Ralphie, these innocent children, are staring at this lamp
Yeah,
like
they're
in a
like, "What?"
trance. Yeah. So she shoos them away like go listen to your radio show. Brought to you by rich chocolatey Ovaltine.
Yes. I never had Ovaltine. I have to
Me either.
imagine that it would be like Yahoo or
Well, yeah, I think it's like chocolate water.
yeah, like it just I like the Nestle, the Stir-In. I never liked
I liked the Nestle Stir-In, but I
I
think
didn't.
Ovaltine wasn't like milk based.
No, I think it just was maybe meant to be like Pediash.
Maybe. As dad's still outside and the children run off to listen to the radio show, mom turns off the lamp.
Yeah.
She's not a fan, very clearly. We get these transitions to the next day, and I love that, like, how the movie transitions from home to school is a fast forward of them being chased by Scott and Grover.
Yes, I wrote that down too, like, that they used the bullies to, like, show that the day was passing, like, "Oh, they went to school, now they've come home." Like, that's so good.
Yeah. Ralph hands in his theme, and he has another daydream where Miss Shields in this ridiculous Cruella de Vil getup with a big hat, big black hat with a black feather. Like, and I wrote Cruella de Vil. It like almost looks like a pirate hat, right? What it like?
Yeah,
Is that the vibe you
I
got?
could see that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of, like, the big woman from Resident Evil.
Yes, Markiplier's wife, Lady Dimitrescu. His playthrough of that is so fucking funny. I'm not well, that's my image now. Miss Shields in her big vampire hat is reading everyone's theme and they're all trash. Every single one of them's an F until she gets to Ralphie's and she opens it up and I had to look this up because the music that would play in old like Looney Tunes cartoons where a
Yeah.
character would fall in love, apparently it's the Romeo and Juliet overture by Tchaikovsky, and we'll put that on our playlist,
Yes.
our music playlist. She falls in love with this theme from the musical cues. She holds it to her chest. She gets up and writes A plus 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 across the entire whiteboard. Ralphie stands up and blows kisses to the class. They put him up on his shoulders.
He's a he
Yeah, you'd think he ended world hunger with this thing.
yeah. So then back at home, they're getting ready to leave the house. Dad's like, "Come on, guys, we're gonna go get the Christmas tree."
Yep.
And, before they leave, mom turns the lamp off again.
Yep.
And dad looks at her and she's like, "Don't wanna waste electricity." Meanwhile, every other light in the house is on.
The camera pulls back so we can see the whole house is lit up.
Every fucking light. And she's like, "I don't wanna waste electricity."
It's such a good little
Oh, it
detail. I
really
love it.
is. They get to the tree lot,
Yeah.
and this guy is trying to sell them this tree, and he's like, "Look, there's no needles coming off of this thing," and he, like, lifts it up.
A giant ring of needles.
Yeah, so he's like, "Alright, you don't want this tree, let's go to the next tree." And, they mentioned that, like, Ralphie's dad loves haggling.
Yes.
So and I think, like, back in the day, this is kind of like that, like, Dave Ramsey thing is like, "Oh, you can bargain yourself into a good deal." In the '40s, you could. In
Yeah.
2025, good fucking luck doing that at Best Buy.
Right, you go to a Walmart cashier and like, "I don't think this is worth the" like, they're gonna look at you like that's the price you're gonna
Right,
pay.
they're
It's
like,
set by
"Okay,
corporate.
well, you
Yeah.
owe that much." But yeah, back in the day, like, this would work, and this is probably, like, a local tree lot anyway.
Yeah.
So, the guy's not coming down on the price, but he does offer to throw in some rope and he'll tie it to the car, which I don't know if you ever had a live tree, but
Nope.
that is actually a good deal because I remember that, like, my parents never wanted to fucking tie it to the car. Like, it was a nightmare.
Well, my family always had a fake tree. I always had a fake tree. I know you kind of get this romanticism about real trees, but like the needles shed, they
Listen,
die. You have to
yeah,
water it.
it just
The dogs would go nuts.
I like the, like, authentic experience. Like, I have we now have a white fake Christmas tree. Why? Because I said if we were going artificial, I wanted it to look artificial. I did not want, like, a green, spruce looking tree. I wanted, like, a fake ass fucking tree if that was the route we were gonna go. So
And it's pretty. I like
I'm
our tree.
very happy with, like, our tinsel tree.
Yeah.
However, I had a real tree, I think up until maybe like ninth or 10th grade. My dad suddenly became like allergic to tree sap. Like he was putting the tree in our living room and we noticed that he was like red and splotchy. So like real trees ended after that. So
I
I
have
just
that too. We can't have a real tree.
so after that we never had a real tree. So I'm perfectly fine having the artificial one now. But like I just think about it occasionally, but I have like my little scentsy warmer thingy that has the evergreen scent. I'm good. I'm chill. We're good.
So you don't want to clean up after that. And I certainly don't either. So they go home, they're driving home, and I guess maybe they didn't have radios in cars back then because the family singing Jingle All the Way. Everyone except dad, who looks very annoyed by the whole thing.
Because they're not just, like, singing it. It's like dad's literally in a car with a bunch of theater kids because they're
They're
just
yelling, they're blowing raspberries, and he's just, trying to
like
keep everyone alive.
yes, he's got, like, a fucking acapella family going, and he's not feeling it.
Yeah. He hits a pothole and it blows out the tire, and dad's thrilled because the narration tells us that I guess dad's dream job was being a pit crew worker on the Indianapolis 500. So he tells mom to time him, and she just rolls her eyes, and she sends Ralphie out to help him.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah, he's never been asked to help his dad with anything, and
Yeah.
after this, he probably never was again. So Ralphie's handed by dad, I think like the hubcap.
He's gonna put the nuts and bolts.
Yeah, he says, "Hold it like a bull, hold it like this." It takes about 4 tries of him hold it like
Let's
this.
all remember Ralphie is 9.
That's fair. So he, puts the lug nuts in the pan, and like when you go back and watch this, you forget that like this isn't even Ralphie's fault. Dad turns too fast and hits the hubcap,
Yeah.
and all the lug nuts go flying, which sucks. And Ralphie's reaction is to say, "Fudge."
Yeah.
But the narrator tells us, "No, no, no, I didn't say fudge. I said the word."
Yeah.
The
But
queen yeah, he says fuck. Dad sends Ralph to the car, and mom asks, "Oh, how'd it go?" And Ralph doesn't answer. So dad eventually gets the tire changed, comes back in, and mom's a little bit smug. She's like, 8 minutes.
which, yeah, that accounts for having your kid out there helping. They need to learn, but it's not gonna ever be as quick as if you had just done it yourself because
No, you
it's
wanna waste a
supposed to
whole
be an
day?
experience.
Yeah. You gotta teach him.
Yeah,
Teaching takes longer.
right.
But he's like he does the classic thing that parents do. Like, "Do you want your kid just said?" Like, he's mad, so it's her kid now.
Right.
Dad whispers, and mom screams.
Yeah. Like, "Not my baby!"
Yeah.
So we're back at the house, and Ralphie has soap in his mouth
Yep.
now because that's apparently what they did, which
That's the
I feel
40s.
like these parents sometimes they catch a lot of flack on social media, but it's like, it's the '40s, they coulda just beat him.
Yeah, this is and the he's like, you my dad was from after the 40s, and it was still, you pick out a switch from the backyard. Like, you got your ass beat.
My dad used that, like, little paddle with the ball that you would sometimes get for Easter.
Boy.
Yeah. That was sometimes, occasionally.
And we don't talk to him. Wonder why.
Any hoozle, Ralphie has soap in his mouth, and,
Life buoy, to be specific, the worst
yes, the worst
of
kind, yes,
soaps.
he would have preferred palm olive,
Yeah.
and his mom is like, "Alright, so where did you hear this?" And even though we as the audience know he definitely heard this from his dad, and he confirms as much, he's like, "Oh, I heard it from Schwartz."
Throw your friend
Schwartz
under
just
the
out
bus.
here catching strays.
Be
So the
because if he says he heard it from dad, mom and dad are gonna fight, and then dad's probably gonna be mad at him.
yeah, I guess that's fair. So mom says, "Alright, well, I'm gonna call Schwartz's mom." So she's like, "Do you know where you heard this?" And we just hear
We can hear Schwartz's
mom,
mom on
yeah,
the
probably
receiver.
his father. He's like, "Oh, you heard it from your son." And so we just hear like, "Ah!"
We We can hear over the phone Schwartz's mom stomp over,
Mhm.
and Schwartz just starts screaming and smacking sound.
Yeah, poor Schwartz. That's
And
why it's just like, "Ralphie, you didn't think about this. That's your friend."
mom looks horrified. So like I would say for 40's parents,
They seem
mom and
pretty
dad are
chill.
pretty chill, like compared to Schwartz's parents.
So, then he's sitting in bed, of course, stewing on this.
He gets sent to bed. He's crying. He's
Yeah.
upset.
He starts daydreaming like you often do after your parents punish you, and it's like they're gonna get theirs.
This cane and sunglasses, he's been stricken blind,
Yes,
and
from
he's
soap
from
poisoning.
soap boy. He comes home and he's still a little kid in this fantasy, but the parents open the door. Oh, where you been, Ralph? He's been gone for days, and it takes him a second to realize he's blind. And we get the dad's best line of the movie, which is, "What brought you to this lowly state?" He like sings it.
Yeah.
So Ralphie tells his parents it was soap poisoning, and they sob and wail. And it kind of just, we cut back to him in bed. He's smiling now at just the thought of his parents in distress. We get a vision of Ralph and friends being chased to school, and we see it must be one of the last days before school because all the kids are leaving little presents on the teacher's desk, except Ralph, who brings an entire tropical fruit basket.
Yeah. You gotta think in the 40s, how much did that cost his parents? Like, what was the story here that he told mom?
Right. How do you convince mom to do that? And between like him daydreaming at her desk and the fruit basket and what happens next, because she's very clearly blown away by this. She's like, "Okay, thanks, Ralph." And he winks at her. This teacher's like, "Oh, great, this kid's got a crush on me."
Right?
Because he's acting real weird.
He brought me this giant fucking fruit basket.
Yeah. And then we transition back.
And Ralphie has received his decoder pen finally.
Yep.
So he rushes off to the radio to get the secret message. And this is like high stakes, right? Like the fucking music is just like elevating. He
Yeah.
locks himself in the bathroom as he says, like the only place that a 9-year-old can get some privacy.
Get some real work done.
Yeah. So he's solving it, and oh my gosh, like this is high stakes. He's like sweating. And the secret message is be sure to drink your Ovaltine because capitalism, am I right?
And Ralphie even says in the narration that, like, this changes him. He leaves wiser. It's just like this is part of his childhood dying when he's like, I waited weeks for this, and
Yeah.
it's a goddamn advertisement. He looks up and goes, son of a bitch.
Yeah. But yeah.
He's so disillusioned. It's great. Even
And
in the
then
40s.
right, and then this transition because Randy runs into the bathroom, and as he's, like, basically getting ready to go to the bathroom, they switch to the kitchen and the cabbage in the pot, and, like, I don't know why that part just, like, gets me, like,
Yeah.
from the bathroom to the cabbage.
Yeah. So Ralphie sits at the kitchen table. He's got like some milk and cookies. I feel like he's drowning his sorrows and
Yeah!
like
He's
capitalism
he's
ruining his
going
little
through it,
orphanage.
he can't have a glass of, scotch or something, so he's got his milk and cookie.
Yeah, and with Randy upstairs in the bathroom, Ralphie at the kitchen table, we can hear Dad downstairs fighting the furnace again.
Yeah.
Mom kind of gets this smug look on her face, and she fills up a watering can, and we follow her down a hallway, and she disappears behind the living room, and we don't see her. And then we hear the crash, and Dad storms up the stairs too, like, "What was that?" And Ralph shrugs because he's having his goddamn milk and cookies. He doesn't know.
Right.
They all storm to the living room, and we see the shattered, sexy lamp.
Yup, she did it.
Mom says, "Oh, I don't know what happened. I was just watering my plant and must have broke your lamp."
Yeah, and Tad's like, "Oh my god, get the glue!" She's like, "We're out." He just gets on his jacket, and the only thing that Ralphie can make out is him yelling, "Not a finger!"
He says, "You were always jealous of this lamp." I was
Yeah.
like, "Of a lamp? That's the ugliest lamp I've ever seen."
Yup.
It's so toxic and petty, but, like,
Yeah, and it's so funny because, like, everyone wants that lamp now because of this movie, but can you imagine, like, if you had won that, would you have even wanted to display that, or would you have been like, "What the fuck did I guess this can go in the bedroom?" Like, would it just, like I don't think I'd be, like, jealous of it, I'd just be like, "What a
Well,
weird fucking prize."
I again, if you kinda look at this through the veil of, like, the
Yeah,
'40s, I kinda get it
I
from mom's perspective. Again, that's
right.
like it'd be like, oh god, I can't even think of a good comparison. Yeah, but yeah, it's just it's a very it's about as explicit as you could get in the '40s, and you
Yeah.
had it in the living room where she had to see it
Right,
every
but I was
day. I
like,
don't
"What
know.
kind of, crossword puzzles is dad doing there?" Like but, yeah, so he gets back, and he's trying to put it back together, and he can't, and mom is just, like, fucking dying in the background.
Every time
Yeah,
he turns his back on her, she is laughing to herself. She's so happy.
yeah,
So dad kinda just gathers up the pieces of the lamp, and according to adult Ralphie's narration, he buried it
yeah, and
behind
he
the
could
garage.
swear that he heard taps playing.
He didn't just throw it away,
Yeah,
he buried
like
it,
the
like
family pet.
yeah. We're at school the next day, and Scott manages to get Flick before they all run inside, twist his arm, and as Miss Shields is passing back themes, Flick comes into the classroom with a black eye,
Yeah,
and Miss Shields kinda sees it, but doesn't do anything. It's
I
like,
think it's just a sign
man,
of the time.
right, like, bullying was just kinda just she's like, "Oh, well."
Yeah. This is where that
Ralphie
fucking toxic, like, boys will be boys probably came from, like,
well,
that
yeah, well,
time frame.
that was part of it, but yeah, bullying, I guess, didn't get people just didn't pay attention to it or care,
Right.
the way they do today. If he finds he only got a C plus on his theme, and he looks up and he's imagining Miss Shields as the Wicked Witch, and then he looks down and sees that she wrote, "You'll shoot your eye out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "My mom must have gotten to
So then he's, like,
There's no
seeing
other way."
her as the Wicked Witch and seeing Mom as, like, a jester, a joker, and, like, they're all laughing at him. So,
Yeah.
he's not in a good mood.
He's heartbroken, and we
Yeah.
see him after school walking home alone,
Right, and it's
still
like
heartbroken.
okay, this is the thing I always tell the kids, right, is if someone is having a bad day, do not fuck with them.
Right, don't make it worse.
Don't make it worse. If whatever they do as a reaction of their bad day is on them, but don't make it worse. Scott's parents never got that memo. So, like,
No,
he sees Ralphie walking home downtrodden and is like, I'm gonna throw a fucking snowball at his face.
and hits him right in the eye,
Hits him
right
right
in
in
the
the eye with his
glasses.
glasses, which I know fucking hurts because getting hit in the eye, regardless with snow, that's not a good feeling. But with your
Right,
glasses, it like pushes it into it and like gets the ice all stuck. Like it's just the
yeah.
worst.
Ralph starts crying, and
Yeah,
Scott makes fun of him for crying because
yeah,
it's the '40s and toxic masculinity and shit. So
yeah.
Ralph fucking snaps,
Yeah, Ralph is like, you know what? I've had it with this shit and just starts blasting him. Not with
tackles him,
snowballs, with his fist.
and is just pounding away. Crowd gathers, and they're all happy because Scott's the neighborhood bully.
Yeah, they're like, get him, Ralphie.
Grover's like, "Hey," it's because he doesn't know what the hell to do. He tries to pull Ralph off of Scott and just gets shoved down.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm gonna tell my dad."
And, like, while Ralphie is hitting Scott, he's swearing the entire time, and Randy is like, "Oh my god," and goes to get their mom.
And Randy picks up Ralph's glasses off the ground, which
Yeah.
is such a that's such a good thing to do.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, man, like, I wanna make sure these don't get ruined." But he
Yeah,
goes to get their mom because he's like, "Oh, Ralphie needs help."
yeah, well, what else do you do? Because Randy's like, what, 6 or 7? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
you go get mom.
Yeah. So she gets him to calm down and takes him home.
And he's crying. He's
Yeah.
had a day. Mom cleans him up, and he's still sobbing. She's like, "Go lay down and calm down. It's gonna be okay." So Ralph is in bed, like, my dad's gonna come home and kill me
Yeah, because
for
I got
this
into a
because I got
fight.
into a fight and I don't know where my glasses are.
Yeah.
Randy is as mom's making dinner, we see Randy hiding in like a cabinet,
Yeah, under the
like
sink.
Like, "Dad, he's gonna kill Ralphie," and mom's like, "No, he's not. Just you want some milk?" Okay, she gives him some milk, shuts him back in the cabinet. Like, he's fine. Dad comes home, the family kinda sits around. Dad kinda gives Randy a look like, "Why is he coming out of the cabinet?" But he doesn't question it. He's used to the weirdness. And mom is a real one because she gives Ralph his glasses and is like, "Oh, you left these on the radio, don't do that." And kinda, like, sneaks into dad like, "Ralph had a fight." "Man, what's happening in the sports in your paper, dad?"
Yeah.
And dad kinda just falls for it,
Yeah, because
and
if she had been like, "He was fighting and this happened," like, that would've been like, "What?" She was just like, "Oh, yeah, but you know how boys
"Yeah,
are. What
I
about the
gave him a
sports?"
talking
Like,
to. It's fine. How are the sports?" And dad's like, "Yes, sports." And the narration kinda tells us, like, that changed his whole relationship with his mom
mhm,
afterwards. And it's such a good moment. It's a very, like it's sweet. As bedtime draws upon them, Ralphie kinda realizes, like, the theme didn't work. How's he gonna get his BB gun? And he's like, "Santa.
yeah.
I
He's
gotta go right
gotta
to the
get to Santa.
head honcho."
So they head to, Higbee's, and they're watching the parade before going to see Santa, and of course, Ralphie's getting impatient because he doesn't wanna, like, miss Santa, but the whole thing about this was, like, Santa was in the parade.
He's in
So,
Maine.
was the parade that far away from the mall that, like, they were worried? I don't know, but I guess it was maybe a real valid concern because they get to the mall, and he thinks that there's, like, this short line, but he realizes, like, the line stretches all the way back.
Through the department
Yeah,
store.
so it's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, am I gonna get to see Santa?" Oh my gosh, though, just the parents being like, "Alright, you guys go see Santa, we'll meet you back here," and it's like,
Oh,
"What?"
yeah, they go to do the Christmas shopping while the kids wait in line for Santa. But again, you gotta think about it, 'cause it used to just be, like, during the summer, it'd be like, you kick the kids out, and you'd be like, "Be home before the streetlights for dinner,"
Be
and
home at the streetlights. I couldn't come home before the streetlights.
don't call 'em like, kids were kinda just free range.
Yeah, that's true, but even, like, I
Cage
don't know, a
cage-free children.
nine-year-old, like, that just seems like, I get it for the time, but can you imagine doing that now?
Well, again, it's just the whole attitude has shifted, and there's lots of people say, like, "Well, the kids lived." It's like,
Not all of them.
most of them did, but some didn't, and that's why
Yeah,
things
my
changed
one of my aunts was actually murdered as a child. Like, there's
from
just
just being unattended.
yeah, like, there's just you never fucking know, like, yeah, they lived, not all of them did. Some
Right.
shit hit the fan. So, obviously in the time, but I'm just like, "God, you couldn't do that nowadays.
No,
You
you
shouldn't
gotta
have done
wait
it
with your
then, but
kid.
you definitely couldn't do it now."
Yeah.
But, we see Ralphie finally getting up to the line for Santa, and Santa has been kind of, like, shit talking every kid that has seen him, like, to his elf. He's over it.
The elves and Santa are sick of it, and in their defense, the second every kid sits on Santa's lap, they scream in his face, and he's
And
probably been doing this for
in
hours.
the kid's defense, that is
The
a
elves are re
scary fucking Santa, and those elves are not friendly.
No, the elves are being very rough with kids, picking them up and putting them on
Yeah,
Santa's
like,
lap.
I'd fucking scream too.
Yeah, it's not
He's in your face like, "Ho, ho, ho, ho," and then shoves you down a giant ass slide.
it's not a good situation for anyone.
No, no. So Ralphie finally gets up there and Santa's like, "What do you want, little boy?" And, like, I love the camera work, though, for when he grabs Ralphie and puts him on his lap, like, just the spinning.
Well, it's from Ralphie's
Yes,
perspective.
like, I love how that's filmed. And he gets on Santa's lap, can't fucking remember.
Freezes,
Yeah.
absolutely
He has
gun
put
shy.
all his planning, all his eggs in the basket, like, this is his last chance. He cannot remember what the fuck he wants to ask Santa for. Santa's like, "How about a nice football?" And Ralphie just, like, nods his head, and then he gets ready to go down the slide. The elf takes him and pushes him down, and he's like, "Wait!"
Ralphie realizes almost too late, like, "Oh, I didn't ask."
Yeah.
Stops himself on the slide, he kinda scrambles up, and in one quick breath, he's like, "I want an official Red Ryder carbine, blah, 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 blah," the whole big name of the gun. And Santa, the most heartbreaking part of the movie, he's like, You'll shoot your eye out, kid."
"Ho, ho, ho," and kicks him
Yeah,
down.
pushes him with his boot, and Ralphie goes down the slide with this look of devastation on his face, and it stays there.
Yeah, he's mortified. He's like, "Oh my god,
Yeah,
like, I'm not getting this rifle."
and we see at the bottom of the slide is this giant cotton fluff, but as a little kid, I watched that, and it looked like they were sliding into a giant thing of mashed potatoes. And as a chubby kid, that's the fucking dream is sliding into mashed
Now
potatoes.
I know what to get you for your birthday. No, I'm just kidding.
A mashed potato slide?
So he's sitting there, like, reliving his trauma, and dad comes up, like, skipping with the Tin Man and Scarecrow from the parade.
Yeah. The parents just pull Ralphie and Randy up because Randy just laid there
Yeah.
after also screaming in Santa's face.
Yes.
And dad can't read the room. Dad's just like, "Did he ask if you've been good?"
And then his dad's like, "That's fine, he knows." But yeah, so then we get to Christmas Eve, and, like, from here on out, this is, like the rest of the movie has been great, but from here to the end of the movie, for me, is the best parts.
Oh, they're finishing setting up the lights on the tree, which to me is so weird. Like, why would you wait for Christmas Eve to finish the tree?
Their
Because then you only get it
parents
for
are
one day.
absolutely type C. Like, there's, like, type A, type B, type C. These are absolutely type C parents. They waited till the last minute to decorate the tree. They waited to the last minute to get the gifts. Like, we've been done Christmas shopping for how long now?
Most of December,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think I got a last minute gift a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we've had our tree up since November 1st.
Well, that's a little tradition for us,
Yeah.
yeah, but
But, like, yeah, no, these parents are definitely type C.
and they've got the big giant Christmas lights. They're squabbling about whether a light is blue or green, and as soon as they finish, it blows a fuse, and a few
The blue
times
light,
yeah.
not the green light.
Well, there's a few times we look at, like, the outlet, and it's just such a fire hazard.
My
They
gosh,
have
yes.
so many things plugged into this one outlet, and every time they plug something in, it sparks, and it's like,
Well, because they
oh my
have
god."
the it's like an adapter plugged into the outlet. So it's like one of those things that's got, like, the 6 or whatever it is, like the 4,
Yeah.
it's plugged into the outlet, and then they have, like, 9 things plugged into, like, that adapter.
Yeah,
So,
they've clearly
like,
overloaded
yes,
this one
the
outlet.
the house is not wired for this.
No. So a fuse blows and dad replaces the fuse so quick and we hear from the narrator that, his dad's a pro at it and
Yeah,
looking at how they plug stuff in,
you gotta be.
it makes sense. So with the tree finished, the parents say, "Oh, we heard Santa's sleigh bells. Hope he didn't skip the house." And Ralphie and Randy dash up the stairs stomping and like the second they close the door, dad's like, "Okay, let's get the present."
Yeah, which is like trying to be quiet here. When did you find out?
Find out what?
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
What age?
I think I was about 10 or 11, and a kid at school ruined it for me, which is funny because it's kind of the same thing that happened to James, our
Mm,
oldest son, who's gonna turn 16 soon.
okay.
How about you?
I found out at Sunday school
Oof.
because I was being made fun of because I was 13. And I had kind of suspected because my dad has excellent penmanship. For as much shit as I talk, excellent penmanship. And
It's not enough to get him on the nice list, trust me.
he would always write the letters, he would, like, sign and, like so I knew his handwriting because he would also sign permission slips and stuff like that. So I
Yeah.
had suspected, but I just thought, like, "Wow, that's a really big coincidence." So, yeah, I was 13 at Sunday school,
I'm
and
sorry.
they
That
were
sounds
like,
awful.
"What a loser."
That's
So,
sad.
yeah, but my point being, I had watched this movie at least from, like, the time I was 8 and, just continued my life. I never caught the meaning of, like, "Alright, let's get the" like, I just,
Yeah.
like, that just it never clicked for me for this, so
Well, him saying, "Alright, let's get him," is maybe subtle enough that, like, yeah, it'd fly over a kid's
yeah,
head.
unlike when I accidentally put on 4 Christmases and was so thankful that our kid did not hear that
Ooh,
part.
boy. Yeah. We got the Christmas morning. Again, excellent camera work because we get, like,
Yes.
the sun creating, like, sparkles as it comes through the icy window and stuff. Elfie opens his window to look at the frozen white Christmas morning that came overnight. Everything you were saying, you really love it when things look that, you just don't like driving in it.
Yeah, no, if the snow could just stay off of the roads, like, I don't know, we don't have the technology quite yet, I guess, but, like,
Heated
it's
roads.
so beautiful to look outside and see that until you realize that, like, the roads probably also look like that, and then it's like, "Why do I still live in Michigan?" And then you remember what the rest of the world looks like, and you're like, "Oh, yes. I
'Cause
can deal with this for a little bit."
they got hurricanes and
Yes.
alligators and whatnot.
Right.
So Randy and Ralphie run downstairs and looking at all the presents. Mom and Dad shortly join them, and you kind of pointed out when we watched this that like you weren't allowed by the tree until everyone was awake.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, we woke our parents up at the ass crack of dawn because we didn't wanna wait,
Naturally,
but, like, we could not. We couldn't even look at the tree. We weren't allowed within, like, 50 feet of the living room. We couldn't even be awake until, like, we all went to get the parents, and we were
yeah,
like, "Hey, it's time to wake up," and then we were allowed to go to the tree when they were behind us. I think it was, like, a picture thing, really, now that I
yeah.
think about it as an adult, but, like, yeah, no, this would not have flown.
Ralphie is tasked with playing Santa, so he passes out the presents.
Which are wrapped, and again, this was something that I had pointed out because I never did that for, like, the Santa.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, I didn't start doing that until I met you, and you were like, "Yeah, you wrap them," and I was like, "You do? Like, my family never did that? Whatever." So now that's just what we do. We also wrap our gifts, but anyway.
you're saying you wouldn't wrap the gifts from Santa. Yeah, no, now we just use different paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, we kind of get a little shot of everyone just tearing open the brightly colored paper and tossing it aside, making a mess. Randy and Ralph both get like a pair of socks and they look at each other, just toss it over their shoulder, which, like, man, that's so real. Who wants socks? Dad's a little sad. He's like, I didn't get a tie this year. Apparently, Dad's used to look forward to getting the tie.
Right. Well, until, they had 60 and they were like, and then there's I.
I don't ever have to wear a tie.
This is what I mean, like, there's been times that I've been like, "Oh, I should get this tie for Beeb," and then it's like, he would never under what circumstance would he wear
Unless
this?
we're invited to a wedding in the near future, when do I don't even think the last wedding we went to, I had to wear a tie. I just wore a button up.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it's that you don't wear them, so it would be like a weird gift.
Yeah. Mom points out that, Ralph got a gift from Aunt Clara
The
to Ralph's
worst
chagrin.
gift
The worst gift.
for a boy of 9.
Yeah, it's pink and fuzzy, and Mom insists that he try it on. So he
Yeah.
pouts and walks off to do so. And I know you love this part as he's changing.
Yeah, because it's just like he comes down and he's got the fucking pink bunny like suit pajamas on, and his mom is like gushing over like how
He's so
adorable
happy.
and cute he looks and like isn't that precious, and the dad is just like, "Oh my god, he looks like a pink nightmare. Do you want to take that off?" And Ralphie like nods. He's like, "Go take it off." Dad just does him such a
Yeah, like there's so many moments that, especially for the time, but even in general, these are good parents. With all the presents are opened and Ralph is a little sad because, it's very obvious he didn't get what he wanted. So dad kind of points out like, I see something tucked behind the desk.
Yeah.
And, Ralph goes over and mom's like, what did we put over there? And dad's like, Santa brought it.
Right. Yes, clearly this is something that is from a father to a son. Like this is a very nice moment. Like Ralphie unwraps it and it's the rifle.
Yeah.
Like he
And
got what he wanted.
And Ralphie's so happy to get it, but as he's, like, loading the pellets and stuff, dad is very clearly giddy too.
Yeah, like
Like,
this is
he's
like a good like this is a special moment for them.
yeah, like, dad's very happy to have, like, nailed this, and mom, like, she's apprehensive, but she doesn't look mad or
Yeah,
anything. She's
she's like, I still don't like it, but
like, "You're
take it
both so
outside.
happy."
Yeah.
And dad's, like, kinda talking him through loading the pellets. It's like, "They'll run all over." As he runs outside, she kinda gives dad a look, and it's like, "I had one when I was 8. It's fine." So as Ralphie goes outside, we see mom pull out the Christmas turkey to, like, marinated, I guess,
Because you
so
that's what
it
you
doesn't get
have to
dry.
do if you oven roast it. You're supposed to, like, marinate it and
Yeah,
keep
when we do something different. I mean, on Christmas, we have a ham because ham is superior, but, like, for Thanksgiving,
yes.
we learn that, like, dad is a turkey junkie. He's trying to literally pick at the outside of the turkey,
And it's
which is
raw!
not done.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, clearly the outside is starting to look crispy, but the middle's not done.
right. So Ralphie goes outside, and of course, after this whole movie, what happens?
Well, his first mistake is he puts the bullseye on a metal sign.
Yeah,
He did not put it like, nothing was going to absorb the shock. It's metal.
yeah, it's gonna ricochet,
Yeah.
and it does.
First shot, the pellet rebounds and hits him and knocks him on his ass.
Yeah, and
Knocks
mom
his glasses off.
right, and mom from inside is like, "Don't shoot your eye out."
He kinda panics. He's like, "Oh my god, I woulda shot my eye out
Yeah,
if not for my glasses." He's like, I'm still gonna get in trouble if I can't find my glasses."
right, but he at least knows, like, mom didn't see, so now he has time to make up a story.
Yeah, but as he looks for his glasses, he hears a crunch because he steps on them, and
Yep.
they're toast.
Yeah, one lens is out, the other is, like, shattered into
Yeah.
oblivion. So he starts kind of crying and tells his mom that an icicle fell and hit his eye, which I
Yeah.
guess is, like, as good a story as any.
Well, and, she's cleaning him up, and she's like, those icicles have been known to kill people. You're
Yeah.
really lucky." And part of me does suspect that she doesn't buy it.
Yeah, like, she's just like, "Yeah, whatever," but, like, I feel like Ralphie, for the most part, is, like, a good kid, so they're not gonna automatically just assume he's lying.
That's fair.
And, like, it's
Yeah, he's
also
he's a good
Christmas
kid.
benefit of the doubt, so,
Yeah.
like
So,
yeah.
but in all of the hubbub, I don't think they shut the back door
No, it's the
properly.
front door that they come through.
Okay.
Yeah, because I thought the same thing. I thought it was the
Okay.
back door.
Uh, so to really drive this home, Ralphie and Mom are upstairs cleaning him up. Randy is passed out on the floor from Christmas excitement. He
Yes.
just couldn't handle it. Dad's reading the paper, and we see as Dad's looking at the paper, we start seeing dogs go past him.
Yeah.
And the turkey's been out on the table the whole time to marinate, but it's too late. The Bumpus hounds have gotten
I have
in.
said the butt kiss.
Butt kiss hounds. Nah, they destroy the entire turkey by the time the family realizes what's happening, and dad chases them out.
Yeah, and they run out the
He's
open back door, so that's why I
Yeah.
said, like, I thought they came through the back too, but they actually run out the back.
Yeah, because they come through the front
Yeah.
to get back. You're okay, you're right. Dad screams "sons of bitches" at the neighbors, and I would too if,
Yeah,
like, why
really
control your damn dogs? And mom comes downstairs and sobs, like,
understandably, because
understandable,
I
your
would be
Christmas
like
dinner is ruined.
yeah, and, like, I'm sure, especially for, like, the fees, because this is right off of, like, it's not too far away from, like, the Great Depression, that was probably a really fucking expensive dinner. Like,
Yeah,
this is a Christmas treat. Like, it's the same thing, we spend more for, like, food, obviously, on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, I would cry. Like,
yeah,
they just ruined this, and rather than, like, getting angry, which is, what would probably be expected,
in the
dad
'40s, yeah.
yeah, dad's like, "Alright, get dressed, we're going out."
He keeps his composure,
Yeah.
and they go to the probably only place in town that is open on Christmas
Yeah.
Day, Chop Suey Palace.
Yes. Because it's Chinese restaurant, like, they're almost always open on Christmas.
I think, like, it might be 8 Crazy Nights that talks about how, or maybe another Christmas movie. No, it might be The Simpsons that talks about how, like,
Dear
rabbis
Nick,
and
recall every single media known to
sure.
man. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, there's a Chris yeah, it's from The Simpsons. There's a Christmas song where, like, even though they don't celebrate it, like, rabbis will meet each other on Christmas and have Chinese because it's open, and why the hell not?
Right.
So they go to Chop Suey Palace, and the owner is trying to get his waiters to sing "Deck the Halls" to the best of their ability.
They're getting words wrong, and the families, of course, just laughing because it's silly, and they're singing Jingle Bells, and they'd sing that wrong.
Yeah,
So, like, the family just having a good time. The restaurant workers bring them out this duck, and the family is a little mortified because it still has the head
its head's
on.
still on there, and dad tries to be as nice as like, "It's smiling at me," and the chef just cuts the head off. Mom shrieks and then laughs and everyone cheers
Yes.
as the side dishes, probably rice and whatnot,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
all this is brought out, and the narration is like, "That's forever went down as the year we had Chinese turkey," and it sounds like, from the way he says it, this is like a treasured family.
Yeah, how could it not be? Like, the Bupkis pounds ruined Christmas, but we didn't let it destroy everything. We just went and had Chinese.
Yeah,
Like,
which is
that's
nice.
yeah.
The movie kind of starts to close out. We see dad sitting in the dark living room. It's blizzarding, but it looks really pretty against the window and the lights of the Christmas tree. And he has mom sit on his lap and they kind of watch as Silent Night plays on the radio. And it's very I think watching this as an adult, there is like that kind of satisfaction of like, oh, we did it. We got through Christmas. Everyone had
Yeah,
a good time.
yeah,
It's nice.
absolutely.
And we see Randy and Ralphie fast asleep in their beds holding their Christmas gifts. I think Randy had like a Zeppelin he really
Yes,
liked.
yeah.
Yeah, and Ralph has got his gun on his which doesn't seem safe.
No, it's really not at all.
The narration confirms it was the best gift he received or ever would receive.
Right.
The end.
The end. So, what do you give it?
Like, this is definitely a very classic movie. Like I said, I used to hate it because it was like a mom tradition, something that parents liked, but as a kid, you kind of just endured it. And I used to ignore the movie, and then, like I said, I got older and I appreciated it more, and I kinda realized, it is a good story. It's a good narrative about like a coming of age type of story almost. And I'm doing the research, I realized that, my maternal grandparents were born in the late 30s. So this could have easily have been their childhoods.
Yeah.
Like it almost makes me kind of feel closer to them. It's like, well, obviously it's not going to be identical, but like this is the type of experience they probably had growing up in the 40s.
Right, yeah. Like I said, my grandparents were a little I think a little one was probably a little closer to Scott, my grandpa, like, in age, and then my grandma was almost an adult. She was, like, 17, I think, or maybe 18, depending on when
Yeah,
this is based, but, yeah, so that's, like, a really cool thing,
yeah.
though.
I thought so just
Yeah,
when we watched it the other day, and that just kind of frames it differently. I will say in like the scope of Christmas movies, like I said, I don't think this is the best or my favorite Christmas movie. And everyone's got an opinion on that, but this is definitely up there. I think you
yeah.
can't talk about it without bringing up this movie. It's culturally significant for a reason. So I don't know. I probably give it like 4 out of 5.
Yeah, and that's I gave it a 4 out of 5 as well. It's not my favorite, however, watching it just really gives you, like, that picturesque almost. Not like all of the craziness that happens before Christmas Eve, but that's what I mean, like, from Christmas Eve and out, like, that really is, I think, what people think of when they think of, like, an American Christmas,
Yeah,
is
it's like the goal.
yeah, like, it's just a very almost picturesque. Of course, obviously, before the dogs come in and ruin everything, but, like, it gives you, like, the good feels, and it has so many, like, quote-worthy moments. It's just so many, like, props from that movie that are now kind of just like collector's items almost.
The lamp, the bunny suit.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
there's so like, it's very loved, and for a reason. So I gave it a 4 as well.
Yeah, that's solid. Well, that's our episode. That is our Christmas holiday extravaganza special. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Hopefully if you're listening to this when it drops on the 25th, you're having a good holiday or had a good holiday of your choosing.
Or will have a good holiday.
Yeah, whatever. Hopefully it is a good time for you and yours. We will be back in 2 weeks. Not sure what the episode's going to be. Going forward, we will have a better idea of what we're doing this season, but we're kind of playing it by ear these first 3 episodes. Otherwise, Merry Christmas and happy holidays from us, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.